KPBS On Demand is supported by the National Conflict Resolution Center. Geopolitics, a divisive election year, and strained budgets are all topics that can create tension in the workplace. NCRC can help workplace leaders navigate polarizing issues with the Culture, Communication, and Conflict Certificate. More at ncrconline.com.
Good morning, I'm Debbie Cruz. It's Wednesday, July 12th. San Diego is the third most expensive place to rent in the country. More on that next, but first, let's do the headlines. We've been experiencing some hot weather this week, and forecasters say it will get hotter as the week goes on. Temperatures will be in the high 80s to low 90s today, and Saturday through next Monday are expected to be the hottest days. The National Weather Service also issued an excessive heat warning in the county's desert areas until 8 p.m. Sunday. And of course, with the heat, the risk of wildfires increases. Some ways to help reduce that risk include not using power tools like lawnmowers outside during dangerous fire weather to avoid sparks igniting grass or brush fires. California is adopting new measures to provide better care for newly released prison inmates with physical, developmental, or mental health disabilities. The changes stem from a 1996 class action lawsuit that found California's treatment of inmates and people on parole in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Under an agreement last month, California will now double the supply of prescription medicines provided upon release from prison to 60 days. And officials will enroll people in services such as Social Security and Medi-Cal at least 90 days before they leave prison. We have an update on a story you may have heard recently on the podcast. The San Diego District Attorney's Office has confirmed a suspect was arrested for the recent theft and vandalism at the Marie Hitchcock Puppet Theater in Balboa Park. Investigators say the man seen on the surveillance video is Jose Ojeda. He has been charged with felony burglary for allegedly breaking into the Puppet Theater twice last month. Ojeda is scheduled for a preliminary hearing tomorrow. From KPBS, you're listening to San Diego News Now. Stay with me for more of the local news you need.
KPBS On Demand is supported by UC San Diego's Art Power, presenting cellist Joshua Roman, performing from his album Immunity, alongside music by J.S. Bach and more. Sunday, June 22nd at UC San Diego's Epstein Family Amphitheater. Reserve your tickets at artpower.ucsd.edu.
It's expensive to live in San Diego, no surprise there. But a new report has a big surprise when it comes to renting a place here. Reporter John Carroll explains.
San Diego is now the third most expensive place to rent in the United States, moving ahead of San Francisco. In a new report, the online real estate firm Zillow says rents in San Diego now average $3,175 a month compared to $3,168 in San Francisco. Zillow senior economist Orfe Diegans says the pandemic played a big role in the change.
You saw a lot of people leaving San Francisco who had the ability to work remotely during the pandemic. So you have this pandemic shock, this effect of people leaving San Francisco to move to more affordable areas.
Diegans says rents are now slowly falling, and he says that should continue through the rest of the year. John Carroll, KPBS News.
Community members are calling for an investigation into a San Diego police arrest of a black man. Reporter Katie Heisen spoke with a man who was left with extensive injuries.
Musla Abdul Hafiz regularly films police stops to hold officers accountable. He was wearing his neon cop watcher vest early Sunday morning in the parking lot of Chase Bank in downtown San Diego when he heard gunshots. He says he was heading to retrieve his phone from his car when the police stopped him.
The police came back with guns out and told me to get on the ground. I got on the ground and they immediately jumped on top of me.
San Diego police told KPBS they detained him as a, quote, possible gunman. Bystander footage shows 4 cops surrounding Abdul Hafiz, who lies on the ground asking why he's being stopped.
What about the checkpoint? What's the charge?
Abdul Hafiz says they would not answer, but used increasing force.
And they began striking me. digging their nails inside my skin, putting their body weight on my back, my neck.
When Abdul Hafiz is no longer in view in the video, he begins screaming. He says the officers inflicted the worst injuries after he was already handcuffed.
Trying to pull my arms out of socket.
Medical records from after the arrest diagnose him with a fractured shoulder, head injury, and, quote, assault. Police gave Abdul Hafiz a ticket for resisting arrest. Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
And we have another report from Katie Hyson. The Americans with Disabilities Act requires the city of San Diego to offer sign language interpreters for all of its programs. Hyson attended one child's swim lesson to see the impact.
Okay, sit down. There we go.
Like many public swimming pools, Claremont's is loud, with shrieks, splashing, and adults exercising patience.
Okay. Benicio on the stairs.
Research suggests that to 9-year-old Isabella Carroll, it might sound something like this. She was born without certain cells in her ears that are needed to hear. Attached to the back of her neck is a waterproof cochlear implant. It allows her to hear some sound, like when her swimming coach calls.
And Bella, so you see how you went.
She looks to him and then to her sign language interpreter, Roy Hensley, who stands on the pool's edge. He communicates in sign what her coach is explaining.
Right? So you guys need to be curling your knees inwards, toes pointed outwards.
Then Hensley points. Bella whips her head around to watch the coach demonstrating proper kicks with his arms.
Out and around like that, okay? Out. Are you going to finish down there or all the way back up where you started?
A few years ago, we did try to give Bella swim lessons through a regular program that, all the hearing world uses, and she really could not catch on.
That's Bella's grandmother, Janet Brown. Interpreter services are available for any of the city's programs, but you have to know they exist.
We didn't even know this was available, and we were trying to do swim lessons through, the public, and we weren't getting anywhere until her deaf friend's mom told us that we could ask for an interpreter.
Brown is hoping the city will expand its offerings.
I'm so grateful the city offers this, but if there was more, a variety of sports that they would offer the interpreter to, I think it would be really great.
Bella practices Taekwondo, which is not yet offered by the city. She also plays volleyball.
Because for the deaf kids to be able to be on a team, interact with the hearing children, I think it's really important for their self-confidence that they can see they can be on a team and as good as the other teammates.
She wanted Bella, who surfs, to become a strong swimmer for safety.
She feels much more confident in the water, and now she's not afraid to go into the ocean by herself. Our neighbor has a pool, and she's willing just to jump right in, where before she'd get in and she'd just hold on to the edge. And I feel that sense of ability, confidence, has also expanded itself onto skateboarding, rollerblading. I can do this, and so it's been a huge boost.
She's a lot cooler than I was at her age.
I was.
Brown says that new confidence empowered her to approach people and make friends, too.
So she's included a lot more with the other kids at the playground.
To her interpreter, Hensley, it's about basic equity.
It's important because it's part of life. It's something a kid wants to do, so it should be accessible for them.
For Bella, it's even more straightforward. While Hensley interprets for her, she signs her reasons for swimming.
Because I need to learn and exercise my legs and become smart.
I like the swimming. I just love it. I love it.
Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
Coming up, Tijuana's Little League All-Star team is headed to the World Series. We'll have that story and more just after the break.
Now on the Finest podcast, the NPR Tiny Desk Contest. We bring you the history of the concert series and the competition and hear from artists behind our favorite local entries.
We're just very tired of hearing music that doesn't represent the people or is very nonsense or just dumbing people down. People want to relate to the music that they're listening to. People want to hear people's stories or struggles.
Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
The billionaire who bought the San Diego Union-Tribune just 5 years ago has sold the paper to a hedge fund group, and they have already announced budget cuts. Reporter Kitty Alvarado has reaction from a former UT reporter who fears layoffs are looming.
A San Diego institution has been sold again.
You don't want to see it happen. It's something we've heard might happen for a really long time, and then to see it happen is just very disappointing.
Wendy Fry says she's heartbroken for her former colleagues.
So devastating to see them have to face another round of cuts and a company that might not be as dedicated to quality journalism.
She and those who work there fear most for the community.
Really, the loser here is going to be the San Diego community. If there's less reporters covering different neighborhoods in San Diego, then there's less accountability for our public officials. There's less voices.
Fry got emotional when she thought about what the paper and the people who work there mean to her.
I'm so appreciative of the people who taught me how to do journalism there at the San Diego Union-Tribune. And, I hope everything turns out for the best.
Kitty Alvarado, KPBS News.
Tijuana's Little League All-Star team is headed to the World Series. Border reporter Gustavo Solis caught up with the team after they secured a place in the international tournament.
Jorge Rubio captured the moment his son's All-Star baseball team secured a ticket to the Little League World Series. With 2 outs left in the final inning and a runner on first base, the batter pings a hard ground ball directly at first base. The crowd goes wild as soon as he tags the runner for the final out. Tijuana will represent Mexico in this year's tournament. Rubio says the entire city has been incredibly supportive.
Oh, it's been crazy. It's been crazy.
All of the local news channels want to interview the players. And the local pro team, the Tijuana Toros, had them throw out the first pitch.
Pages that I don't even know that existed are covering the team. And, we went to Toros last night.
His son, Andy Rubio, says the team is happy about the victory and ready for the big tournament.
Muy felices todos, ¿no? Por el triunfo del equipo, ya estamos allá en Williamsport.
In mid-August, the team will head to Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the Little League World Series. Gustavo Solis, KPBS News.
That's it for the podcast today. As always, you can find more San Diego news online at kpbs.org. Join us again tomorrow for more of the day's top stories. Plus, we hear why a Fallbrook resident was faced with a nearly $1,300 gas bill from SDG&E in January. I'm Debbie Cruz. Thanks for listening and have a great Wednesday.
Now on the Finest podcast, the NPR Tiny Desk Contest. We bring you the history of the concert series and the competition and hear from the artists behind our favorite local entries. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.